Hey, I'm going to show you how I build a Facebook ad account structure with a budget of $5,000 per month. And this strategy is going to be for an e-commerce brand. So we will cover what is the funnel, how many campaigns you should have, what is the daily budget, and how much of your budget should be allocated for each part of a funnel. First, when it comes to the funnel, with this type of budget, we want to make sure that we are consolidating our campaigns as much as possible, because we want to get the most results from this budget. When we're spending under 10 and 20k a month, we're gonna face some inconsistent sales, because remember, Facebook needs around 50 conversions a week in order to optimize your campaigns properly. And if you're not spending enough, then it's kind of impossible to get that. So our main goal is to stack the audiences and the ads as much as possible, so we can stack the budget as well. So our main goal is to stack our audiences and our ads, and in that way we can consolidate the budget at the same time. So we have more chances to get those 50 conversions. So we'll have two campaigns, one for prospecting, which is gonna be a cold audience, people who don't know about your business at all, and one for retargeting, people who've engaged with your brand. They can be warm or even hot audience. Now, before we're talking about the campaigns, let's find out what is the daily budget. So if we have a budget of $5,000 a month, that means around 165 will be per day. 80% from our daily budget is gonna be for our prospecting campaign, and only 20% is gonna be for the targeting campaigns. And the reason for that is we wanna make sure that we are having enough traffic to retarget. That is the key, because if you don't have enough people to retarget, that is not gonna show very good in terms of conversions and the return on ad spend. We want to make sure that we're creating all the assets in advance. I'm talking about the audience research, the copies, the creatives, because the last thing you want to do is to create your campaigns spontaneously. I find that is not working quite well. So instead, focus on getting all the assets in advance and make sure that everything is polished and everything is prepared properly. The first thing that I am preparing in advance is to make that audience research. And in the beginning, I want to have my top 6 audiences that I think they are the most relevant for that particular e-commerce that I am working on. Let's say that I'm selling sound packs. The audiences that make sense can be popular producers, music equipment, also some magazines, some general interest like audio mixing or recording studio. Another audience can be your competitors, and the last one might be artists. If you're wondering about how to make that audience research and you want me to record a video on that, then let me know in the comments and I might record a video on that in the future. Now, after making the audience research, we have to prepare the creatives and the copies. And we can model what your competitors are doing. You can go to the Facebook ad library, which is a free tool from Facebook, and you can see what kind of ads are other companies running. Now let's jump in my ad manager and let me show you how you create step-by-step those two campaigns. So we are in the ad manager account, and what we have to do first is to go and create a new campaign. For that, we simply have to click on the create button. Now, for some ad accounts, I noticed that it's still the old version of selecting the campaign objective. But in general, if you have that old option, then I would highly recommend you to select conversions if you want to get sales. In this case, if you have a new feature, then I would recommend you to select sales, which includes basically conversion. I'm gonna click continue. For the campaign name, I'm just gonna write prospecting ABO. We're gonna use the ad set budget optimization, and afterwards I'm gonna click next. So I will give a name for the ad set as what is my audience that I'm targeting. So for the ad set name, you want to make sure that it's the audience that you are targeting. So for the ad set name, to keep it simple, we will name it as what is our audience that we're targeting. In this case, let's say that is gonna be artists. Then moving forward, we have to make sure that we're optimizing for purchase, because our end goal is to get conversions. And when we're optimizing for purchase, we're telling Facebook what we wanna actually get from this particular campaign. If you're optimizing for add to cart, then Facebook is gonna show your ads to people who are most likely to add some products to their cart, but not so likely to purchase. As for the ad budget, because this ad account is in the pound currency, I will set 25 pounds a day. So we'll have 6 audiences and each is gonna be 25 pounds, which means 125 pounds will be for prospecting and the rest of the money is gonna be for retargeting. And for the audience, if you are starting off, then just keep open the age and the genders. And for the location, just select the country that you are focusing more. Over time, once you have more data about who is your ideal customer, then you can narrow it down a little bit further. Then we have detailed targeting. This is actually the most important thing. Here we want to select all the artists in this case, and we want to stack all the interest. Remember, because I said the budget is small, we want to consolidate as much as possible. So we'll put as many artists as possible. Now moving forward, after selecting our interest, then we have placements where we are going to show our ads, and I highly recommend you to use automatic placements because I find that is converting the best, because actually I find that is giving us the best results. For the optimization and delivery, we want to use everything as default. We don't want to complicate ourselves now with the cost control or other types of optimization. After clicking on show more options, make sure that you have selected 7-day click or 1-day view for attribution setting. In a nutshell, this means how your ads will be attributed to Facebook. And at this moment, this is the largest attribution window, which means Facebook gets more data from our campaigns, which leads to better optimization. After setting up the asset level, we will have to click next, and here we are on the ad level. And basically this is the part where we are uploading our creatives, we are writing our copies, and this is actually what people see on their feeds and stories. For the prospecting, we can start off with 3 ads. One can be a user-generated content, and that is very powerful nowadays because it gives that organic feeling on feed or on story. And an important thing is to make sure that your creatives are optimized for each placement. So if you are showing your ads to Instagram story, make sure the format is 9:9. So in that case, it looks more native to the platform and it's more likely for people to engage with it. The second type of creative is a carousel with your best sellers. And the reason we want to use that creative is because I find with e-commerce stores that's working quite well. With carousels, you give more variations for people to find their favorite product from your range of items. So that gives us a higher click-through rate, which is a good signal for Facebook that your creative is engaging and is compelling for your people. So they will lower your cost per 1,000 impressions. And the third type of creative you can use is an image with your bestseller and with a text overlay that tells a benefit about your product. Now let's move forward and let's create the retargeting campaigns. So what we have to do is to create again on the create button. So we'll select the sales objective or the conversions if you have that old option, and then we'll click continue. Now for the campaign level, first thing we need to do is to give a suggestive name, which is gonna be a retargeting, and it's gonna be a CBO for this time. And I like to use CBO because I find that it's working quite well for retargeting campaigns. And here we will have only one ad set. And to turn on the CBO, we have to scroll down and we have to click here. And as for the budget, because we're spending around £125 for prospecting, the rest is gonna be around £40. Then we will click next. For the ad set name, it's gonna be all website visitors and all social media engagers. Now for the audiences, we have to create a custom audience. Basically with custom audiences, we can retarget people who've engaged with your brand. So I'm gonna go ahead and select all Instagram engagers in the last 365 days and all website visitors in the last 180 days. I want to give Facebook the largest time range for our custom audiences. Now moving forward, here at the locations, age and gender, I'm gonna leave it by default because I don't need to narrow it down further when it comes to retargeting audiences. Then moving forward, here at the placements, we will select again automatic placements because this usually works the best. And then at the optimization and delivery, everything is gonna be by default. And make sure that it's 7-day click or 1-day view for the attribution setting. As for retargeting imagery, we will have again 3 creatives. One is gonna be one of your best images with your best seller that is gonna have a screenshot review. And I find that screenshot reviews outperform the reviews where you are writing on the ad itself, because that looks more native and real in front of your potential customers. And the second type of creative is a demonstrative video. It's gonna be around 15 to 30 seconds, showcasing your product more in depth. And the third type of creative is a video where the founder of a brand is talking about their products. Also, the CEO can talk about some of their new offers, some of their new product releases. That builds trust, and in that case, you humanize your brand. And this is how you're building an ad account structure with a budget of $5,000 per month. If you enjoyed this video, then make sure you like and you click on that subscribe button, and don't forget to click on the notification bell to get notified when I'm releasing a new video. Thank you for watching it, and I will see you in my next one.